Hey guys! Today we're going to work on our three-digit subtraction, just to make sure we're ready for our test tomorrow. So what I need you to do is make sure you have scrap paper and a pencil, and then we'll begin. If you need to pause the screen so you can get scrap paper and a pencil, I'll wait. When you're ready, go ahead and hit play. Here we go. On your scrap paper, I need you to write 531, and we're going to take away 211. Now, if you remember, our B helps us to decide if we have to borrow. And if you take a look in our ones column and our tens column and our hundreds column, we don't need to borrow in this problem. So we can begin. We're going to start here with 1 take away 1 is 0. You should be doing this with me. 3 take away 1 leaves me with 2. And 5 take away 2 is 3. We didn't have to borrow and we stayed in our column. What I need you to do is to remember that we always start in our ones column and we move from our ones to our tens to our hundreds. Go ahead and start find some more room on your scrap paper. We're going to do another one together. All right. Awesome. Get rid of this. Here we go. I need you to write on your board this problem. 762 take away 184. I'll wait for you to write that on your scrap paper. Awesome. All right, so here we go. Hopefully you're doing this with me. Take a look. Our bigger number on the bottom, we need to borrow. If you notice, our 4 in our ones column tells us we need to borrow. So we have to go next door. We're going to borrow 1 from that 6, and it becomes 5. We go ahead and give it to the ones column. Now I have 12. Now I can subtract. 12 take away 4 is 8. Good. Now we look in our tens column. I have a problem because 8 is bigger and it's on the bottom, which means I have to go next door and borrow again. So I'm going to go ahead over to the 7 and I'm going to borrow from there. Now I have to make sure that I give that 1 to my 15 there in the tens column. So now we have 15 take away 8. That's 15 tens. We're going to take away 8. 15 take away 8 is good, 7. Now we can subtract our 100s column. 6 take away 1 is 5. 578. Is that what you got? Good job. All right, let's go ahead and find more room on our scrap paper and do another one together. Okay, as Miss Marcio is going to erase here, you should be ready to go. Find some room, and I would like you to write this problem. 805 take away 123. Now, here's what I've noticed. I notice that my ones column, I can subtract. I don't need to borrow. So I'm going to start my ones. 5 take away 3 becomes what? 2. Very good. Now I can move on. But if you notice, my bigger number's on the bottom, so I'm going to have to borrow from the hundreds. So I go next door and I borrow from the hundreds. Good, and I give that to my tens column. Now I can subtract. 10 take away 2 becomes 8. And move on to my hundreds column. 7 take away 1 is 6. You should have had 682. All right, ready to move on to another one. Go ahead and find more space, and if you have to flip to the back, go ahead and flip to the back of your scrap paper. Here we go. We're going to get a little bit trickier here and work on what we need to do when there are zeros and we have to borrow all the way across to our hundreds column. So go ahead and write 302 take away 185. Now, we know our bigger number's on the bottom, so we have to borrow. But there's nothing next door to borrow from. So we have to go all the way to our hundreds place. Now, you can do this 2 different ways, okay? You can do it Miss Marcia's way, or you can do it Miss Keener's way. I'm going to show you both strategies. So I'm going to go ahead and write this problem again over here, and we can take a look at both steps. You can decide which one you want to use. Okay. Now, if you are using Miss Marcia's method, you're going to come all the way over here to your hundreds column, and you're going to borrow from there, and you're going to give it to your tens column. But you never gave anything to your ones column, so you have to borrow again from here now that they have something. So we take that 10 becomes 9. We give it to our ones column. So now we can subtract. 12 take away 5 becomes 7. Good. 9 take away 8 is 1. Very good. 2 take away 1 is 1. You should have gotten 117. Now, if you were waiting to do it the way that Miss Keener has showed us, we're going to go ahead and do that next. So take a look over here. Miss Keener has decided that if there is nothing to borrow from in our tens, we can take that and we are going to collect that number, right? We're going to smush them together. So 30, and we're going to borrow 1 from 30, which means this becomes 29. And we give that one to our ones column. Now, if you notice, that's exactly what Miss Marcio had up here at the top. So now we can subtract. 12 take away 5, again, is 7. 9 take away 8 is 1. And 2 take away 1 is 1. Very good. So you get to choose which strategy you like to use. Let's do one more, and you can choose either one of these strategies. So go ahead and find some space on your scrap paper for our next problem. This will be the last one we do, and hopefully you are ready to rock and roll. Here we go. On your paper, I would like you to write 401 take away 237. Now, I'm going to give you a moment to go ahead and work. All right, if you're not done with the problem, you can hit pause at the bottom of the video, and when you're ready, you can hit play again. We're going to go over it. 401 take away 237. Hopefully you started in the ones column and realized that the bigger number was on the bottom and you had to go next door and borrow. But there's nothing to borrow from. So you have to go all the way over to your 4. Now, no matter which method or strategy you used, right, you are going to get the same answer. So I'm going to use Miss Keener's strategy here, and I'm going to combine my hundreds and my tens, and that becomes 39. And I'm going to give that 1 I took from there to my ones column. Now I have 11 take away 7, which gives me 4. 9 take away 3 should have given you 6. And 3 take away 2 leaves you with 1. You should have gotten 164 as your answer. Great job, guys. What I need you to do is put your name on your scrap paper, and I want you to turn it into the bin that is over on the counter, and make sure your name is on it. I'm going to make sure that you stayed with me and you did your work. Awesome job, and you can move on to your next task. Great work, guys.